Let us not dawdle, for there are grudges to settle, and new entries in the Dammer's Cron to right!
Howdy, howdy, ShetlandApache here, and welcome to a match between the Dwarfs and the High Elves featuring ShetlandApache. If you don't know, ShetlandApache is huge in the multiplayer scene, huge in the tournament scene, has an amazing Discord. I will link it in the description. You gotta go there. The discussion and stuff in that Discord is second to none. I had someone ask a question about Skaven Slave Spears and their anti-large bonus, whether it was worth the gold and whether they could do anything. And I referred them to that Discord. They went over, put it on the theory crafting section, and had a 3-page conversation about Skaven Slaves, Spears, and their anti-large bonus. It was fantastic. I would highly recommend you go see it, and I will have a link in the description. Now, before we get going over the armies, I just want you to hear this. All right, let's get going. So we'll go over the High Elf army. And the last game against the High Elves, we saw Shetland bring gyrocopters and just absolutely go after the spellcasters. This is a much different build for him. And the problem with High Elves is they can bring so many builds. Anyways, they brought 6 white lines of trace, all chevroned up twice. They got very strong stats, 40 and 38, 40 melee attack, 30 melee defense with that martial prowess ticking. He does have 5 archers up front, and obviously they will be able to do a number on any slayers or anything like that in the lineup. Does have 1 group of spearmen, probably just had some extra gold. For his leadership, he actually has 2 nobles on chariots. Obviously they have a strong anti-infantry bonus of 20, but they have this ability of Armor of the Stars, where they click it and they become unspottable, and that is going to be important. Lastly, for his leadership is Alarielle the Radiant, and she has Star of Avalon, which is a huge heal for 27 seconds. It is stationary, ground targeted, I think. Star of Avalon, greatly improved power recharge rate, 100% miscast chance reduction for 1 time. Does have Arcane Conduit for the magic, and Earthblood, which replenishes the hit points in the 30-meter radius for the heals. Faucet Protection for the 27 melee defense, which is fantastic for units like oh jeez, like White Lions. I don't know why that just passed me. Anyways, plus 30 armor, plus 27 melee defense. Really, really good. Only 5 wins of magic. Shieldstone of Isha, so within 40 meters of Alarielle, it's a constant effect of 12% physical resistance. Every time she casts, she gets a Shield of Sapphire, which is 11% damage resistance for 9 seconds, which is really strong. She also gets Life Bloom, which is a 5-second heal for every troop on the battlefield. And of course, she has missile resistance, 15% physical resistance. So this army of ShetlandApaches, I love his armies. They're always so interesting. Okay, for the front line, we have miners with blasting charges, 2 of, and obviously they're just to slow things down. He does have Iron Drakes. These are the flamethrowing type. He has 3 of them. 1, 2, 3. And they're actually really strong against armored stuff. They're strong against unarmored stuff. For his leadership, he has Belegar Ironhammer. Now, Belegar is just a naked Belegar, which is what this is. 1100 gold, is got good stats, 60 melee attack, 55 melee defense, and that silver shield, 120 armor, 98 leadership, strong. He has got 2 runesmiths with just 680 gold. They got the Rune of Wrath and Ruin on both of them to slow things down and to damage them as they go. He does have 4, count them, 4 cannons on his 4 corners, and inside this pocket of doom he does have 2 Thunders and the Peak Gate Guard, and on the back line for defense he just has miners to slow things down. So we'll get things going and we'll watch these cannonballs come in because of course, why not? Killed 4 models on these archers, and of course as these guys come in they will see them, and I think these guys, have they already casted their spell? No, not yet, but they will at some point. And really, so Shetland is just letting his cannons fire, and oh god, that sounds so just waiting for everything to pop in. Which way are they going to come? You know, pushing out a little bit forward just to maybe get some early shots. He's going to bring, I think, his leadership up to slow things down. Really, the miners with the blasting charges, the miners are to slow things down. That's it. They're a speed bump, and otherwise it is let your cannons rumble. Now these guys are now unspottable. He cannot see them, doesn't know they're there. You can see they can get very close, and you know he's going to let the do not have armor piercing, these archers. So we look, they have 3 armor piercing. So these guys are actually going to do pretty good, these Iron Drakes, because they have 125 armor. And same with the Belegar and the Runesmiths. Still don't see them. Look how close these guys are going to get. Still don't see them there. Bang. Already, the charge animation is already going, and he's going to run over every one of these guys. Didn't kill one, though. Didn't kill one. These guys do not have armor piercing damage. They have a lot of weapon strength, but they don't have armor piercing damage. So Shetland's trying to get out front just to slow everything down. He's got a Rune of Wrath and Ruin on these guys, and now he's getting some blasting charges over, trying to slow this noble down and getting his cannon sort of off, and he just this is so awesome. He's just gonna shoot everyone point blank. He's got Rune of Wrath and Ruin for minus 48% speed, and he's got 41 speed, and he is getting absolutely demolished. You come in the pocket of doom, and you experience the cannons. Yep. This is fantastic. He's absolutely focused this guy down. Now he's focused on the other noble. They're coming in on the side and sort of posting up out here to shoot at what they want to shoot, but really he's focused on this noble, which is now absolutely gone, and this noble is already routing. He's got 100% focus on him. Peak gate guard, we've got the cannons, and dead, just like that. 2 nobles gone. Now he can really start to try and focus elsewhere. You can see how strong this is. 1 volley from 2 units down to essentially 2800 health, and we've got this big melee going on here with the Belegar and the 2 leaders, but really this is just so devastating if you get these guys on target. You can see they've gotten the white lines of trace. Now though, unfortunately, they're just not enough to stop everything, and he's got in here with his spearmen and his white lines of trace. So Shetland is just countering with his peak gate guard. He will be able to handle those, and the miners, and the cannon is still shooting. I could watch cannons blow things apart from point blank all day. So this cannon crew is going to get back on their cannon, and these miners are coming in to sort of help and defend and create a pocket here. We've got these 2 guys. They're taking intense fire from all of these ranged units, but they're just shooting into these white lines of trace, and they're just doing a ton of damage. So these white lines of trace were almost perfectly healthy. They're down with 1 volley, sort of down to 4,000 health, and that's with 11 models out of 21 and 21 models out of 21. And we've got them being chased by the miners, and you can see they're just going to town. And the white lines of trace also have the Rune of Wrath and Ruin to slow them down, and it will actually affect their leadership. Now, a number of units are starting to get pushed off here. You can sort of see the line is surging this way, and this initial line is broken. Alarielle is in here with her big heal, trying to get after these white lions, and Shetland's after here. He just wants to start pushing these guys off one by one and slow down the pressure on his ranged units, and he does have some units able to keep firing in here and trying to push things off. Now these cannons are still online, but we've got these white lines of trace on the way in right now, and obviously that will affect everything. These white lions are pushing in, and there's not much we can do at that point, but the PK guard are pushing off these white lions, and we've got Thunders over here as well, and Alarielle is just running around getting in the way. Now here the miners are just trying to clean up these archers, and we'll clean up the white lions, and we're getting some support from the Iron Drakes. Furthermore, the Iron Drakes are going to switch around and try and focus down this line, but unfortunately we have Alarielle coming in. She is on foot, but you can see even one volley does some damage. Now Alarielle was going to do some damage to those guys, but they are heavily armored, and the leadership for the Dowie are coming back in. These Thunders are still online. Hopefully these guys rally before they completely rout it off. We do have this cannon crew rally. rallying. And these miners are doing a great job just holding these guys in place. And really, this pocket is clarifying. It's becoming much easier to understand what's going on in there. There's 3 Dowie units and 3 High Elf units, and these White Lions of Trace are getting killed really fast, but so are our miners. We are still shooting with our Thunders over here. Alariel has gotten into place, but now these miners will do just a fine job at dealing with Alariel. I mean, they're not gonna absolutely kill her. I mean, she does have 67 melee defense, but they will hold her down, and she has magic attacks, and she doesn't have armor piercing. So he's trying to get out of the way with the Iron Drakes, get in a good shot. We've got these White Lions of Trace sort of coming in. I'll see if I can get a bit of a cinematic. I don't know. We'll see if we... Come on, boys. There we go. So, obviously, just trying to keep the pressure on. Keeping the leadership. The leadership is really good. Unfortunately, the miners have buckled, and the White Lions have gotten through to the Thunders. These Thunders have rallied just before they've gone, but we have more White Lions here, and we have more archers. These miners are trying to deal with the archers. Really, this is now sort of controlled by the High Elves, and the leadership group is sort of starting to blob up a little bit. I mean, this is Dowie leadership here. We have 1 out of 21 Iron Drakes here, and 3 out of 21 Iron Drakes here, and they have not shattered. So Alariel's trying to run away from the Runesmith, and we've got the White Lions of Chase here shattered. We've got the Peak Gate Guards still ready to fight. Now, she is on foot instead of on a horseback, so she's actually only got 36 speed, but she's still fast enough to outrun a dwarf, unfortunately. We've got some more fire coming in with these Iron Drakes, shooting at these White Lions of Trace. They're getting shot in the back and shot in the side, but they are still going. They're just still going and shooting as much as they can. We got these White Lions of Trace sort of coming in, and fortunately these Thunders are actually still online and still shooting. You can see they're getting some shots in. Alariel has her Star of Avalorn. She's going to try and fight here and just tank this damage. It is a bad idea for her. I think Belegar is pretty strong, and so the Peak Gate Guard will bring her armor down. Yeah, her armor is down to 15, so these guys will absolutely demolish her. And you can see the job they're doing in here. They're just beating her down, really, because she has 15. She has very low armor, and these guys aren't armor piercing, but they've done a great job. And you can see almost broken, 304 health at her healing cap. Now she is off to the races. Almost got her, but not quite. Now we have just the Thunders are now getting focused down by the last of the archers' arrows, but really there's a good pocket here of Dowie leadership. These Peak Gate Guards unfortunately have routed, and they're going to sort of rout off, but really leadership is into these archers at this point now. Alariel, I believe, yep, she has rallied. She has no healing left. She has 304 health, and that's got to do for the rest of the game, but there's no Dowie range left except for maybe this cannon. So the cannon is going to try and get back online. The Dowie are going to deal with that with the Thunders, but really this is a sort of a losing battle. We've got here these miners have rallied, and our Peak Gate Guard is going to rally, but the Dowie leadership is sort of in here fighting away, and are trying to get the cannons back online, because one cannon shot, one thunder volley, one anything will do it. But unfortunately these archers are out of ammo, and they're going after our cannon crew, and these Thunders are going to have a hard time with there's just too many archers over there. So they have broken, and these guys are going to break as well. But the Peak Gate Guard coming back. Now these Peak Gate Guard are important because none of these 3 leaders have armor piercing. I mean, they have a lot of decent armor piercing damage, but they don't have armor piercing per se. And Alariel is just trying to find a spot to get in some shots, because we have 2 groups of White Lions of Trace. They're pretty healthy, 57 models, 38 models, and Spearmen of 40 models. And this Peak Gate Guard, though they don't have a lot of health, they're going to come in, and as soon as they debuff these, they're going to take 30 armor off these White Lions. You can see, gone from 60 armor right away. They're going to do some damage, but what they're doing is they're letting the leadership do some damage. Now, the 2 units out here have been routed. Alariel is going to kind of come around and get into that fight, and you can see she has 304 health, but ShetlandApache is going to see her sitting there, I think, and try and get one of his units on her. No, she's running away, so they're just fighting in here. I think Alariel wants to get a charge in, like a cycle charge, but she is on foot. She's not on a horse, And she doesn't have a whole lot of armor. This is super dangerous. She has 304 health. And the runesmith comes, trying to chase her down. Very, very lucky. Very, very lucky. That was so dangerous. So in this pocket, they're fighting. Belagar Ironhammer is doing just fine. He has 3,000 health left. He's kicking the snot out of everyone. And coming in again, 304 health. And Belagar comes over. Boom, 67 health. He's trying to hit her again, and he misses. Oh, it's just so close. But unfortunately, this runesmith gets routed, and Lariel is not routing. She has 21 leadership left, and she is going to try and chase this runesmith off, along with this archer. And this runesmith and Belagar Ironhammer are going to try and chase her. Now, if they had Rune of Wrath and Rune, they could easily stop her, but they're never going to catch her. She has 36 run speed, and the runesmiths have 30, but she's going to stop them anyways. She's going to bring in these archers, stop the runesmith, and Alariel is going to try and chase off our runesmith. Gives up and comes in and wants to get a shot in here. Like, this is so dangerous. This runesmith rallies. So now it's time to chase down Alariel. Over here, Belagar is tanking everyone. He's just he's happy as a pig and shit right here, just fighting. This is what he's meant to do. He's very, very good in infantry engagements. Alariel routes, everyone starts routing, and that is the battle. What a game. Like, fantastic, fun game. 97 kills for Belagar. Like, Belagar is a beast in melee. Him and Thorgrim both hit 8 targets with their swings, whereas someone like Ungrim only hits 5 targets, so they are meant for anti-infantry engagements. 58 and 50 for the runesmiths are also great. 17, 13, 56 for the miners, solid. 30 and 12 for the miners with blasting charges. 102 for the peak gate guard. 41 and 13 for the iron drakes. 14 and 4 for the thunders and these cannons. 27, 26, 24 and 34. But no matter how many kills they get, they are incredibly satisfied, and it's satisfying to watch, and they totally demolish these nobles. They got 39, 31 kills, but they stuck all the way in, like sneaky elves would do. Alariel didn't do much aside from her heals. The spearmen, 1 kill with White Lion to Trace, are always going to do good against the Dowie. They're a very strong unit, and they were 2 chevrons up, 60, 15, 121, 49, 10, and 125. And these archers did not too bad, really. 14, 16, 32, 37, 34, and they're only 475 gold, so it's really not too bad. But love that game. I love it. Love the difference in builds. And if you go back and look at the last game I casted of Shetland Apaches, where he plays the Dwarfs versus the High Elves, he has a completely different build, super elite with gyrocopters, and this one is just super doughy, 4 cannons. Like, what is not to love about having 4 cannons? And even with 4 pieces of artillery, and the peak gate guard still managed to get pretty wide with 3 miners and 2 miners with blasting charges. Obviously, it was really, really difficult to hold back the flow of infantry into that pocket, but he did not too bad, really. There's nothing to complain about that fight. A great, fun fight. Love to hear from you in the comments. I know there's a lot of you that love cannons, like I love cannons, and love iron drakes, and really enjoy this kind of fight. And I just thought it was really spectacular, and I hope y'all liked it. And go to Shetland Apache's Discord. That's where you'll find information on tournaments, where you'll find discussion on balance, where you'll find builds and replays and theory crafting and sort of concepts and ideas discussed by really great people in a really great way. It's like just such a good Discord and a place to talk about Warhammer. Highly recommend you go there. With that said, hope you found it interesting, and I will see you soon.